One of the most common things I see with beginners and improvers like me is this. We try and copy and throw like the professional dart players we all see on the telly. And I completely understand why. They're the best in the world. They score effortlessly. They make it look so easy. So the logic sounds super simple. If I copy them, I'll play like them. But this is one of the fastest ways to stall your progress. Just to be clear, I'm not talking about copying ideas from the pros. I'm talking about copying their throw. The way their arm moves, their follow through, the pause, the rhythm, all of it. Because that's where a lot of us quietly get stuck. Trying to make it look right, not getting our throw repeatable and consistent. Gonna break this down into 5 little mini sections. Why copying feels right, the truth about pros throws, same results, different styles, what copying the pros actually does to your throw, and what to do instead. Section 1, why copying feels right. Copying the pros feels productive. You change your stance, you move your elbow, you adjust your follow through. All feels like progress. It feels like you're working on your game. And that, my friends, is a dangerous feeling. Because feeling busy is not the same as getting better. Busy practice feels reassuring. It gives your brain something to adjust and also something to blame. Darts is brutal. It doesn't reward activity. It rewards stability. And the more moving parts you add, the harder it becomes to know what went wrong. What caused that miss? Most copying causes movement and not improvement. The truth about pros throws. Here's the part that most players miss. Professionals didn't build their throw by copying somebody else. They built it by repeating what felt natural and refining it year after year, throw after throw, day after day. And adapting it to their body, their timing, and more importantly, their temperament. What works for the professionals works because it fits them. Height, arm length, hand size, release timing, rhythm, all different. You're not seeing a perfect throw, you're seeing a personal throw. When you watch the pros on TV, you're watching the end of a very, very long process. You're not seeing the years of missing. You're not seeing all the adjustments they've made in the past. And also the habits that they stopped changing. And you're definitely not seeing how many times that their throw looked like something different. Trying to copy the finished version actually skips the part where your throw begins to exist. Copying a professional darts player's throw is borrowing a solution to a problem that you don't even probably have yet. Now, let me show you where copying the pros usually goes wrong. I'm going to throw at the same target twice. I'm not trying to make the throws look identical, I'm trying to make them work the same. First visit, natural, normal. Those familiar with the channel will be familiar with the throw. All in the fat part of the 20. Now watch what we do on the second visit. Second visit, slight difference. Still scores 60, very different throws. Now if you pause the video on both of those throws, you would say they look different, and they were. And this is exactly what happens when we watch and try and copy the pros. We freeze the picture, we judge the shape, and we copy the appearance. But here's the takeaway. Darts doesn't happen in freeze frames. What matters is if you can replicate the outcome, not the pictures. The pros don't succeed because their throw looks a certain way. They succeed because the throw works for them under pressure over time. When you copy how a pro looks, you borrow the picture, but you do not borrow the repeatability. What copying actually does for your game. When you copy a professional darts player, 3 things tend to happen. Firstly, you lose trust in your own throw. You start believing it's not good enough, and that's just not the case. Secondly, you introduce changes that can't be replicated under pressure. And thirdly, you start to rebuild rather than refine your own throw. And unfortunately, that's not progress, that is instability. And the real problem shows up under pressure. Because the throw you've copied is not wired into your timing. When that double matters or that big score matters, your body just doesn't know which throw to trust, yours or theirs. The pressure you feel in that moment when it matters won't expose a bad throw. It will expose the borrowed one. You don't need a better looking throw. You just need a more reliable one. What to do instead? So if you shouldn't copy the pros, what should you do? Firstly, you've got to pay attention to your patterns. What do I repeat under pressure? What breaks down when I rush? Which part of my game holds up on a bad day? These answers matter far more than copying someone's elbow position. Your job is not to look like a pro. Your job is to build a throw and trust it when it matters. Now, here's the reassuring bit. If you've ever copied a pro, you're doing nothing wrong. Everybody does it. Copying is part of a learning process. But staying there, that is what will stall people. The goal isn't to reject influence. It's to stop your own feedback being replaced by somebody else's. I hope this video's helped you a little bit, and can I be honest with you right now? I tried really hard to hold and throw the dart right-handed differently to James Wade, because his throw, I just love it, and I just couldn't do it. I couldn't get that pull back in the timing right. So I developed my own throw, as we should all. Don't forget to subscribe to the video. Also, if you can, please drop a like. It helps the video get pushed further so other people can get to see it as well. Plenty of other videos with little tidbits of information like this on the channel, so go check them out after this one. Thanks so much for watching. Don't copy the pros. Be you. Bye for now.